The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
It's time for the all-new radio for small business. Get inside the mind of the business owner. Hosted by Eugene Rowe. Sponsored by HomeBiz. Connecting, capitalizing, discovering how to take care of business. Go.
Welcome to another episode of the brand new Radio for Small Business. I'm your host, Eugene Rowe, broadcasting live from sunny, lovely Boca Raton, Florida, South Florida. A wonderful place to be. We've got a great show for you today. We've got Veronica Romney with LoSoMo, South Florida's own. She's going to talk to us a lot about some great internet marketing tips. First, we've even got Wally King with Ascenergy. This guy has raised $2.7 million in crowdfunding, $2.7 million in a single year with Ascenergy. We're going to get a good talk with Wally King in just a second. Plus, later in the show, we definitely are going to have our direct sales segment where we talk about some of the pluses, minuses, and some of the things that you can do when evaluating a direct sales business. But make sure you write this number down right now. Get out a sheet of paper and a pen. Write down 561-995-8255. 561-995-8255. Well, why are you writing it down? Because we're going to take live calls in the studio in just a little while, and I want you to be prepared. 561-995-8255. First up on Radio for Small Business, Wally King with Ascenergy. So Wally King, he's leveraging 17 years of business experience at a series of startups, mid-size and Fortune 500 companies, and right now he's director of sales and marketing at a wonderful company called Ascenergy. Wally, thanks for taking your time out to talk to us.
Thank you, Eugene.
So tell us a little bit about you before we get too much into the details of business. Where'd you go to college? Tell us a little bit about your investing experience.
Sure, glad to. I was a student of UC Santa Cruz back in the late 90s, and I studied a variety of different topics between art and business and graduated in 2001. So after college, I started my career in business with Hertz Rental Car. Some people are more familiar with the enterprise program, with the manager trainee program where they hire the college grads and they move them up the pipe. But Hertz has the same type of thing. And at that time, we were new in the local market, so it was a great opportunity to take over market share. And had a very successful career at Hertz early on and was quickly promoted up the ranks up to the city manager level within the first year and a half.
Wow.
And yeah, I was in my early 20s and managing a city of locations and moved that down to Southern California. And within about 6 months, I was recruited by FlexCar, which some people may not be familiar with FlexCar, but they may know Zipcar. And I got hired as the general manager there. I oversaw the Southern California market, and we grew the locations from about 25 to over 250 between Santa Barbara and the Mexico border, all the way out, reaching into the Inland Empire. And that was about a year. And at that point, Zipcar had approached FlexCar, wanted to do a merge and act M&A, which did go through. And I survived that, fortunately. But at that point, I saw an opportunity to take what I had learned and bring it back to Hertz. And so I went back to Hertz shortly thereafter the merger and helped them launch their car sharing program, which is now known as Hertz 24/7.
Okay.
And it's primarily in college universities across the country. And for those that don't know, car sharing is basically a means of transportation for folks who live in parking impacted areas or for individuals that want to spend money on, where they live and live in a more central location because they don't necessarily need to own a car, but maybe need one every once in a while.
Oh, that's a pretty cool idea.
So after being at Hertz for a while, I moved up to eventually being the regional sales manager and oversaw a territory of about $100 million annually with a team of about 12 sales reps. And from that point, I realized that my passions had gone beyond car rental. And as much as I loved the industry and I loved the income, I had a fire inside to do my own thing and started my own company in the health and wellness space known as Evolution Workforce, which became a successful startup in Orange County, California, where we brought wellness to individuals there through multiple means, through technology and through programs, education, and fitness on site.
Gotcha.
Which eventually I merged with a company called Health Hero, and Health Hero is now currently a very successful startup. We have investors from Blue Cross Blue Shield in Florida, known as Florida Blue, and we are also in a business incubator called HealthBox in Tampa.
Gotcha.
And Health Hero currently is fundraising as well. That said, Health Hero is a little bit early stage for me at this point in my career to be full-time, so I'm currently acting as an advisor and co-founder. But most of my time goes into Ascenergy. And Ascenergy was founded by Joey Gabaldon about 3 years ago after starting a sister company as a test pilot for his experiments in oil and gas. Oil and gas has not been something that I had any direct involvement in before Ascenergy, but I've always had an interest in that field, knowing that it's a high-demand commodity, and commodities are what I tend to invest in. I've invested in oil currently with Ascenergy, but prior to that, my investments primarily reside in real estate, gold, and silver, and I was fortunate enough to time the markets right, so I've got good positions in that. And now I've got my current investments in Ascenergy and Health Hero. So Ascenergy, it started back in, I guess, the official year was 2012 after Joey and his team drilled 2 successful wells in Oklahoma and discovered $40 million in proven reserves in that field. And that field was only 160 acres, but it was done as a sort of a test of methods to take to the larger model, which would then become Ascenergy and be funded by larger dollars in what we didn't know at the time would eventually be the crowdfunding space. And we weren't experts in funding companies. Joey and I have backgrounds in sales and marketing, but crowdfunding was brand new, and funding in general.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. You guys are using the crowdfunding area to raise gobs of money. I hope it's okay to say gobs. And so for our listeners who are not necessarily well-versed with what crowdfunding is, can you give them a little, I guess, background or definition on what crowdfunding actually is and how it works for businesses?
Sure, yeah. Well, first of all, there's 2 types of crowdfunding. I guess the most long-standing type is known as rewards-based crowdfunding, which has been legal for a while because it's not any sort of investment vehicle. And companies like Indiegogo and Kickstarter have used this to help startups get off the ground with seed capital, but typically a lot of it comes from friends and family or people that are just taking an interest in the project.
Okay.
And those projects tend to be getting right off the ground. They don't necessarily have revenues at that stage. And in return for the capital that's provided, the investor, I guess capital providers, because they're not investors in that type of crowdfunding, they would get some sort of reward in return, like a hat or a trip to visit the company, or maybe a long time discount on the products and services once they're made. And in some cases, pre-orders, which proved to be pretty successful with things like the Pono music player. Then the other type of crowdfunding is equity crowdfunding, and that's what we're doing. And that's what's recently been approved by the Jobs Act, which was put into motion back in 2013.
Okay.
And it's still evolving. There's new regulations coming out on that in June. But currently, the way that it stands is there's 2 different types of offerings in that space. There's a 506C, which means that the companies can publicly solicit, which in our case allows me to speak openly about the investment to anyone that I want, just like it was any type of good or service, under the stipulations that I follow the SEC guidelines on accreditation, meaning that any investors that we bring in have to go through a third-party accreditation. Basically, a licensed attorney, CPA, or broker-dealer has to sign off that they meet accreditation standards, a minimum of $200,000 of annual income as an individual, $300,000 as a couple, or a net worth of $1 million or greater.
$1 million or greater, excluding the
other structuring is a 506B.
Okay.
And those types of offerings don't need to do any accreditation, or they don't need to do a third-party accreditation. They need to do an internal accreditation process, but they can take on. They're not allowed to publicly solicit. They have to keep it among friends and family.
Gotcha. So when it comes to crowdfunding space, one, how did Ascenergy decide you were going to start using that to raise funds, and what are some of the great results that you guys have been getting?
So we chose to use the crowdfunding space to raise funds because we just looked at it as a very fast route to market to get our products, our services up on the market and bring on investors. We looked at different routes. We spoke to other options. We spoke to broker dealers and before we launched on crowdfunding, but we found that there was incredible upfront expenses, monthly fees, plus a success fee. And we were looking at watering down what we could provide to the investors with our offering. And also in that case, the broker dealers in the oil and gas space are more familiar with the working interest model, which is not the type of offering we wanted to have. Working interest models pay investors from profits, which sounds great, but that means that there's a lot of expenses that get in the way before you get returns. And so you're relying on the company to be efficient in how they expense things, and there's not much transparency. So we went the crowdfunding route, allowed us to create the offering structure that we wanted, which in our case is a royalty model where investors get paid off the top line gross revenue. So whatever our production is directly how the investors get paid. They buy a certain percentage of that gross revenue, and that gross revenue is verifiable on our website through the investor dashboards. It's also verifiable by a public third party in Texas known as the Texas Railroad Commission, so they can tell that we're being truthful and honest about the returns.
Gotcha.
So now crowdfunding, you've got your Rolodexes, right? I've got a Rolodex of probably 3,000 people, but I don't know who's accredited. And I would guess, just based on odds, that probably maybe 5 to 10% of them would qualify as accredited. When you go into the crowdfunding space, you're opening up your network to much greater than what you have. You have, first of all, the crowdfunding sites have registered accredited investors, ranging from anywhere from typically 1 to 10,000 per site. And then you have the ability to use that crowdfunding site as a tool to draw investors to your offering, where it's very nicely laid out. They're able to cross-reference other investors that are in your platform by looking at their profiles on those crowdfunding sites. And you're able to just streamline the onboarding process through their technology.
I see.
So the number one thing was just an expanded Rolodex and a greater reach. And then the number two thing was just the simplicity of how to set up a deal structure online for public eyes.
So are you guys currently doing a round now? I know you've gotten some results already. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we've done extremely well. We've raised over $2.9 million so far in this offering, and about $2 million of that came from crowdfunding.
Wow.
The rest of it came from friends and family prior to launching on crowdfunding. And so $2 million in crowdfunding is a pretty big number these days. There's a few other companies that have raised over $1 million, but typically it has taken in the past companies several years to raise this amount. We've been able to do this in less than a year. We've been raising on crowdfunding sites since July. Part of that is due to the attractive nature of our offering and that our business plan is very sound and we have a success record. But the other part of it is that we're putting a lot of effort into this. Make no mistake, crowdfunding is a great tool, but it's not something you can just put a profile up and expect the money just to start pouring in. It needs to be worked.
Right.
It needs to be worked very heavily. It's just like running any sort of sales and marketing campaign for any company. And it really is a great indicator too, because if a company can successfully crowdfund, there's probably a good chance that they're going to be successful in their sales and marketing efforts with their product. If a company is not able to successfully crowdfund, there's something missing that's going to be missing in their operations in order to be able to sell a product.
Wow. That's a nice inside tip that I never thought about, right? I mean, obviously, if you can't show people the value of the business, it's going to be hard to show them the value of the product that the business produces, right? So
absolutely.
Do you guys attribute the fact your royalty-based model to the reason that you've done so well in crowdfunding when so many companies don't even get past $10,000 raised?
Like I said, there's several variables. I would say that's a pretty big piece of the pie. There's probably three pieces that are equivalently powerful. One is our royalty-based model where people get paid from transparent gross revenues, and it's a monthly payment. It's an income vehicle. You don't have to wait for an exit. You don't have to wait 5 years to get your ROI. It starts as soon as production begins this year and continues the life of the wells every month. So that's one piece. The other piece, breaking it down, would be that we're already a successful company. We've already produced over $1 million. We've got 100% accuracy in our track record. We've got $40 million proven reserves. We've got new leases that we're expanding in that are total. We've got over almost 20 times the acreage that we started with now. That's another piece. So the traction and the track record. And then the third piece, which is extremely critical, is just the amount of forethought we put into building the offering and the marketing materials and the quality of marketing materials and the amount of outreach efforts that we make. We've really treating this like any business. Sales and marketing campaign needs to be at the top of their priorities. And we've done that, and we've done a good job of getting additional exposure and having quality materials for people to look at when they come and take a look at our offering. It's very easy to understand, and it reflects the quality of our company very well.
Cool. So just in case you're just tuning in, we're talking to Wally King, Director of Sales and Marketing at Ascenergy, and they're doing very well when it comes to crowdfunding and oil and energy space. And Wally, tell listeners how they may be able to find out more about Ascenergy and maybe, and I don't know if you're allowed to do it, maybe how they can take a look at you guys' information and possibly become an investor.
Sure, yeah. Because we're a 506c, we can go into all those details. Thank you for asking. First of all, our website is ascenergy.com, And that's a great place to get more depth on the company. It breaks down our financial model, and it also breaks down all the details about our business plan and how investors are paid, including all the steps to invest. You can also find information about the team there. The website serves as sort of a more in-depth piece than the crowdfunding sites. We have our crowdfunding sites that we're on EquityNet. It's equitynet.com/C/Ascenergy. We're on Crowdfunder, crowdfunder.com/Ascenergy. We're also on AngelList and Fundable. Both of those would be angel.co/Ascenergy and fundable.com/Ascenergy. You know, if you're already registered on one of those sites, it's pretty easy to go for. Otherwise, you can pick one that suits your interests and your style or what you like when you look at the sites, and you can register to get more information. And in those sites, one of the neat things, especially on Crowdfunder, is they do have links to a lot of our investors' profiles, and there's even some testimonials. And that's what we call social proof. Mm-hmm. A lot of companies that are fundraising in the beginning stages, and we were the same way, we didn't have much social proof because we only had our friends and family, and they weren't registered online and all this kind of stuff. So initially, that traction's hard to get. But when you go in and you see people that are investing in companies and you can look at their backgrounds, you can kind of get an idea of who's done the due diligence on these people so far. And so that's what I recommend. A lot of people like to start with crowdfunding sites and then get into the website when they're ready to look a little deeper. And then, of course, you can always request deal doc access through crowdfunder.com or on our website. You can just email us. And I'm available at wally.king@ascenergy.com for anyone that has questions about this.
Awesome. So Wally King, Director of Sales and Marketing at Ascenergy, and I'll spell it just for the listeners, just in case. ASCENERGY, Ascenergy. I got it right, didn't I, Wally?
You got it.
Ascenergy.com. Wally, I appreciate your time. Thank you for taking your time out to speak to us.
You're welcome, Eugene. Thanks for your time. And just one note on the name, Ascenergy means ascending together. It goes right into the vision and our mission of treating everyone the way we want to be treated, with mutual prosperity.
There you go. Ascenergy.com. Check them out.
All right. Thanks, Eugene.
To hear more with Wally King and other guests on Radio for Small Business, either visit our sponsor's website at hombabiz.com, hombabiz, HOMBABIZ.com, or you can join our text club. Pull out your smartphone now and text the word business to 77948. That's the word business to 77948. That'll get you great reminders about upcoming shows, plus great tips, deals, and things that you can use in your daily life, even in business. Coming up next, Veronica Romney with LoSoMo Internet Marketing. We're going to talk to her about the who, what, when, where, and why of how to get your business listed on the internet. And even if you don't have a business yet, you know what? It's great tips for learning how to get started. Up next on Radio for Small Business.
Starting a business? Join the HomeBaBiz Small Business Network. You connect and get info on real deals. Deals and connections that can help you increase cash flow and acquire assets. Everything from private equity to direct sales. Joining is simple and free. Simply open your smartphone and text BizBlast to 77948. Text BIZBlast to 77948. Standard messaging charges may apply. Here's to getting to know you better. HomeBaBiz Small Business Network. Connect. Capitalize. Go.
Ladies, ever wondered if there's a true online community that'll give you premium skincare and cosmetics perks specifically for the mature woman who values prestige? Lol Beauty is the place. Our Facebook page is now the home of almost 400 like-minded women, and we'd love for you to join us. Like us on Facebook by searching for Lol Beauty. That's LULG Beauty. You'll get premium beauty news, celebrity skincare secrets, and be among the first to know the latest trends. Like us on Facebook by searching for Lol Beauty. That's LULG Beauty. Check us out. Discover the season's top trends. Take advantage of opportunities to try great new products. Even explore new ways to bring out a more radiant you. Joining is simple and free. Simply like us on Facebook by searching for Lol Beauty. That's LULG Beauty. Lol Beauty. Premium skincare and cosmetics perks for the mature woman who values prestige and true beauty.
When it comes to eating the right things, it seems like everyone has great advice. But do they ever stick around to help with the hard choices? RightIntake.com is a new online community that's focused on the education of our members to teach them the right way to go about nutrition. Every week, articles from leading nutritionists and trainers will break down the barriers of nutrition information in a way that's simple, practical, and informative. Topics will cover things that are actually important to you. Things like protein intake, B12 vitamins, prostate health, vitamins, supplements, and more. With RightIntake.com, you can stay on top of your nutritional goals quickly and easily. You can even sign up to get weekly notices of new articles right on your smartphone. Joining is absolutely free and easy. Visit RightIntake.com today, right away. Visit RightIntake.com. That's RightIntake.com. And discover more optimal living through better intake. RightIntake.com. Living life now.
Are you a local business owner who'd like to talk about your business on air? If so, meet the all-new Radio for Small Business show. At Radio for Small Business, we believe in building responsible and profitable business networks with the local community. Ideas, promotions, deals, and insights are what we value, so let us know what's on your mind. Text business to 77948. That's business to 77948, and we'll reach out to you personally. Plus, if we can get you onto the show, we will. We don't charge fees to be on Radio for Small Business. So send us a text. Text business to 77948. Text business to 77948. It's that simple. Standard messaging charges may apply. We look forward to servicing and partnering with you. Radio for Small Business, every Saturday at 10 a.m. Who knows, maybe you can join us next week. Text business to 77948. Text business to 77948. Radio for Small Business. Connect, capitalize, go.
Inside the mind of the owner. Radio for Small Business. Connect, capitalize, go.
It's a good Saturday morning right here with Radio for Small Business. I'm your host, Eugene Rowe, broadcasting live from sunny South Florida in Boca Raton. It's a great day outside. It's a great day in the studio. Well, we've got our next guest, Mrs. Veronica Romney with LoSoMo Internet Marketing. Veronica, thanks.
Good morning.
Good morning. How's your Saturday going so far?
Amazing. It's beautiful outside. I can't take it sometimes.
Yeah,
it's how pretty.
We're going to have to get out of here and just go to the beach or
Okay,
something
deal.
like that. But before we do that, let's make sure that we can make some money first,
Fine,
right?
business first.
Now, your specialty is internet marketing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's the name of your business, LoSoMo. What's that stand for?
So LoSoMo is an abbreviation for local, social, mobile. So if you're a local business, those are like the three ingredients of a successful recipe to get more traffic to your website online.
Awesome. Now, tell us a little bit about your background and how you even got to this point where you're running an internet marketing business.
So I'm actually from Florida. I'm a Florida native. My parents are Cuban immigrants. So I was born here, actually went to Atlantic High School. So go Eagles.
Okay, awesome.
And then I went out west for school, which that's, out west, West Coast, California, Utah, like it's little Silicon Valley's out there.
Now,
so
that's a big switch
big
from
jump.
East Coast to West Coast. Okay.
Yes. Yep. Loved it. Loved to ski. So went out there for a couple years, and then my first job out the gate was Ancestry.com, which, as everybody knows, is the online genealogy website. I was with them for over 2 years on their marketing team. Loved it. Clearly, that was what I studied. And then from there, I just went to agency after agency where I worked with different types of clients, helping their online presence increase. So I had clients like IMAX, the movie theater.
Really?
I had Marriott, the hotel chain. I've had Mobile Mini, which is a competitor to Pods, those big storage containers.
I've seen that,
right?
Yeah, I've seen that.
So I did their SEO every month. Just different clients. And then for the last almost now 2 years running, I run a department out west with about a staff of 20.
Okay.
And we do SEO for apartments. So apartments all over the country.
Like apartment complexes and things like that?
Yep. So if I wanted to come up for the term Boca Raton apartment and I wanted my apartment to come up, I do the SEO for them.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So you mean to tell me when I do Google and I'm looking for a home or an apartment or things like that,
Yep.
I'm seeing your work literally.
Yes, literally my work. Yeah. And right now the department, we have about 1,127 websites on our SEO program.
Whoa.
Which when I took over the department 2 years ago, it was about 230. So we've completely exploded. Then we moved back to Boca about 11 months ago because I had a baby.
Oh,
got to be closer to home, right? It's
Congratulations.
the fam. And when I was telling, colleagues and friends and family in the neighborhood what I did, SEO, they were like, come again, what's that? I'm like, search engine optimization. Like, I don't know what that means.
That?
So we started talking to people, and they had no idea. I mean, it's really well known clearly in the West, but hasn't really reached down here in South Florida.
So the tech bubble hasn't reached from the West Coast to East Coast?
No, not at all.
Now, let's step back just a second, because you've got some experience working with some great companies.
Mm-hmm.
You've worked with Ancestry.com.
Mm-hmm.
I think you said you worked with IMAX.
Yeah.
And the mobile minis.
Mobile mini, yeah.
These are huge companies that are doing massive amounts of advertising, both on and offline.
Oh, yeah.
They see the value in SEO. When you were working with them, I don't know if you can tell us on air, but what value did they see in it that a small business owner should be looking for?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, too. You don't have to be a massive company to do SEO. I think that's a misconception. That's not it at all. I mean, you're definitely going to be going for different terms. So for you, right, for an air conditioning company that's based in Boca, I clearly want traffic in Boca Raton.
Okay.
I'm not looking for traffic in Los Angeles, right? When you have a client like IMAX or Marriott or Mobile Mini, that's clearly a nationwide type of brand.
Okay.
So the reach is so much larger and the efforts are so much grander, but doesn't mean that you still can't apply those same strategies just in a local emphasis here.
I'm guessing that because a small business is local, if they implement those strategies locally, they probably have more impact.
Oh, yeah.
Versus the competitors when you are trying to compete nationally.
Yeah, no, it's huge. It's a really big deal. Even Forbes, on Forbes.com, they did an article about 2 years ago talking about the impact, and they call it SOMO, but I've heard it so many different variations.
Okay.
Right? It's local, social, mobile, and they talked about how it's the most underused marketing technique right now. But it has the most impact, right? Because if I can get more traffic to your local business that's in your neighborhood, clearly that's going to save you money, not just in gas with trucks and things like that, but most relevant search results, right? I would rather work with somebody that's a local business than somebody that's a boxed SEO company nationwide.
Where I have to call some tech support in
a
completely different country. And we've all done that, right? So in case you're just tuning in, we're talking to Veronica Romney with LoSoMo Internet Marketing, South Florida's own. And you know what? We're going to take some calls in a minute. And so if you've got a pen and pad, write down this number, 561-995-8255. That's the number right here to the studio, Radio for Small Business. That's 561-995-8255. We're in the studio with Veronica Romney, LoSoMo Internet Marketing. Now, Veronica, I've got a background in radio.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I talk about advertising, I tend to have the mindset of a radio advertiser, traditional advertiser, things like that. So I've seen the radio spots that can cost tremendous amounts of money. So can you give us a bit of a differentiation between, traditional marketing and search engine optimization?
Yeah, I mean, I think when people think of internet marketing, it's a newer trend, which is actually not true. SEO has been around since 1995.
Okay.
So it's been around for a long time, but I think people are used to things like yellow pages, flyers, balloons, radio spots, TV ads, which I think are all effective in their own right because they reach different audiences, which I think is good. But where are you all leading them to? I mean, you just talked about it. You just talked about home biz, your website, right? So it will all funnel there. And then through Google Analytics, which is a software, it's free from Google. You install it on your website. It tells you where most of your traffic is coming from. And at this point in my career, I've probably looked at thousands of those accounts for different companies.
Okay.
And the number one source of traffic is always organic, which means Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Not paid, not email campaigns, not
Seriously?
Facebook. Number one source of traffic is Google, Yahoo, Bing.
Wow. Do you know how much money I've spent on social media? Oh, my goodness. I'm never doing it again. No, I don't know if I can't say that, but I've actually wasted a lot and I didn't even realize that. So I could have called someone like you and had you do it for me and save myself headache. That's why I'm bald now.
No, stop.
Okay.
You look great.
Thank you so much. Well, we're in the studio with Veronica Romney, LoSoMo Inc. Internet Marketing. If you want to call in and ask some questions, maybe you're thinking about starting a business, maybe you've got a business already that you'd like to get some tips on marketing for, give us a call at the studio, 561-995-8255. That's 561-995-8255. We're going to come back in a minute. We're going to continue with Veronica Romney, LoSoMo Internet Marketing. It's right here on Radio for Small Business, hosted by HomeBaBiz.com, and you can always hear more. Join our text club and text us. Text the word business to 77948. That's the word business to 77948. How do you do it? You just pull out your smartphone, okay, and pull out the text messaging app that you have and type the word business in, and then in the to field, type 77948. And we'll get back with you personally right here on Radio for Small Business.
Put your mouth where your money is.
Hello, it's Eugene Rowe, host of Radio for Small Business. Join us Saturday. Wally King of Ascenergy tells us how he raised $2.7 million, plus Veronica Romney with LoSoMo Inc. on Radio for Small Business. Saturdays, 10 a.m.
Starting a business? Join the HOMBA Biz Small Business Network. You connect and get info on real deals. Deals and connections that can help you increase cash flow and acquire assets. Everything from private equity to direct sales. Joining is simple and free. Simply open your smartphone and text Biz Blast to 77948. Text BIZ Blast to 77948. Standard messaging charges may apply. Here's to getting to know you better. HOMBA Biz Small Business Network. Connect. Capitalize. Go.
Ladies, ever wondered if there's a true online community that'll give you premium skincare and cosmetics perks specifically for the mature woman who values prestige? Lol Beauty is the place. Our Facebook page is now the home of almost 400 like-minded women, and we'd love for you to join us. Like us on Facebook by searching for Lol Beauty. That's LULG Beauty. You'll get premium beauty news, celebrity skincare secrets, and be among the first to know the latest trends. Like us on Facebook by searching for LOL Beauty. That's LULG Beauty. Check us out. Discover the season's top trends. Take advantage of opportunities to try great new products. Even explore new ways to bring out a more radiant you. Joining is simple and free. Simply like us on Facebook by searching for LOL Beauty. That's LULG Beauty. LOL Beauty. Premium skincare and cosmetics perks for the mature woman who values prestige and true beauty.
When it comes to eating the right things, it seems like everyone has great advice. But do they ever stick around to help with the hard choices? RightIntake.com is a new online community that's focused on the education of our members to teach them the right way to go about nutrition. Every week, articles from leading nutritionists and trainers will break down the barriers of nutrition information in a way that's simple, practical, and informative. Topics will cover things that are actually important to you. Things like protein intake, B12 vitamins, prostate health, vitamins, supplements, and more. With RightIntake.com, you can stay on top of your nutritional goals quickly and easily. You can even sign up to get weekly notices of new articles right on your smartphone. Joining is absolutely free and easy. Visit RightIntake.com today, right away. Visit RightIntake.com. That's RightIntake.com. And discover more optimal living through better intake. RightIntake.com. Living life now.
Are you a local business owner who'd like to talk about your business on air? If so, meet the all-new Radio for Small Business show. At Radio for Small Business, we believe in building responsible and profitable business networks with the local community. Ideas, promotions, deals, and insights are what we value, so let us know what's on your mind. Text business to 77948. That's business to 77948, and we'll reach out to you personally. Plus, if we can get you onto the show, we will. We don't charge fees to be on Radio for Small Business. So send us a text. Text business to 77948. Text business to 77948. It's that simple. Standard messaging charges may apply. We look forward to servicing and partnering with you. Radio for Small Business, every Saturday at 10 a.m. Who knows, maybe you can join us next week. Text business to 77948. Text business to 77948. Radio for Small Business. Connect, capitalize, go.
Inside the mind of the owner. Radio for Small Business. Connect, capitalize, go.
Welcome back to Radio for Small Business. It's your host, Eugene Rowe, sponsored by HOMBABiz.com, HOMBABIZ, HOMBABiz.com. Connect, capitalize, go. We're in the studio with a wonderful young lady, Veronica Romney of LoSoMo Internet Marketing, South Florida's own. We've been talking about search engine optimization. We've been talking about internet marketing. Now we're talking about a big day coming up just this month, April 21st. I hear the SEO giant is making huge changes in the way a business can be pulled up.
Yeah, so, I mean, clearly the search engines you want to pay attention to is Google, Yahoo, and Bing, but Google especially because they own 70 to 75% of the market.
75%?
Oh, yeah, they dominate. Yep.
Okay.
So whatever we do, obviously, we're going to tailor most of our efforts to Google because Yahoo and Bing usually pick it up like a couple weeks later, right? But Google has like kind of laid down the law, so they came out with an official announcement on their website that basically said as of April 21st, this month, 21st of April 2015, if your website is not mobile friendly, you will be dropped from mobile results, which is a big deal because last year there was more searches done on mobile devices than the desktop.
So 2 questions arise.
Okay.
Okay, because we've got our sponsor, homebabiz.com.
Yes.
Okay. And so if they're not mobile friendly at the point where she's showing me right now, if you're listening, she's showing me a snapshot of the HomeBaBiz website, and because they're our sponsor, I'm not going to badmouth them, but I will say, like you said off air, we need to do some work, right?
Yes. Google, thank goodness, Google, not only are they laying down kind of the law, but they actually have a way that you can test it. So if you're on your mobile device and you go to Google and do a search for your actual domain name, you should see in light gray font mobile friendly before the actual description. If you see that, you're mobile friendly. The other way that you can do is you go to google.com, do a search, and in the search type in mobile friendly test.
Okay.
Google has a test that you plug in your URL, and then it will generate in like a minute whether or not it's mobile friendly. So your website is mobile friendly.
Woo-hoo!
You will pass.
Yes. Thank you. Our sponsors, homebabiz.com.
Yes.
Thank you for being mobile friendly. We'd love to continue being able to pay for the show. So I got a great tip. I think you're going to bill me for that. But,
no.
But thank you for that. So I didn't realize that there's a big thing. April 21st. If I currently own a business, if I currently own a portfolio of businesses, if I'm thinking about starting a business and I am not mobile friendly, I run the risk of missing half the potential traffic coming to my website.
More than half, yeah.
More than half.
More than half. 70-80%.
78% of all searches done online are done on mobile devices.
Yeah, clearly it's going to be different for every industry, but as of 2014, more searches are conducted on mobile smartphones than they are on any other device.
Wow.
Meaning, I'm literally at home on my couch. I have a $2,000 Mac machine in the corner, and I'd rather do the search from my seat, sitting down on my phone, than get up and go across the room to go to the Mac computer.
Wow.
That's just the nature of who we are. We're lazy, right? I mean, our attention span on the internet is really short as well, right? If your website's not capturing somebody's attention in like 10 seconds or less, right? Then you're going to miss that opportunity. So
let's talk about some of the things that you're doing to help your clients get mobile friendly and get up and running.
Yeah, okay. So there's a couple areas that we definitely help our clients on. It's kind of like different little departments of SEO, if you want to think of it that way. First, clearly, is the website. Number one stop. Because it doesn't matter how many people I send to your website every month. I could send hundreds. But if they get there and they don't like what they're looking at, you're not going to see a phone call. You're not going to see any traffic, right? So clearly we have to identify what's wrong with the website. If there's any issues with the website, is it mobile friendly? That's step number one. Step number two, how big is your footprint on the web, right? How many people know about you? Have you submitted yourself to Google, to Yahoo, to Bing, to Foursquare, to Yelp, how many different places, right, that talk about you? How many places has your business been submitted?
Gotcha.
With a local business, it's really easy, right? You have a name, your business name, you have a business address, and you have a business phone number. It's pretty much like your social security number of your business online.
Gotcha.
Those three things have to be completely consistent across whatever you do. So that's really crucial. The third thing that we do is we have to be socially active. One of the ways that Google can tell if you're still in business, right, like you're still open for shop, is if you're posting and you're active and you're tweeting and you're plussing and all these different things. So social activity is definitely important. Google does look at that. They actually just broke a partnership with Twitter. First time. So now if you do a search for your business name, instead of a description come up, it might be your latest tweet, which is a big deal.
Wow, that is huge.
So being active as much as you can, that's definitely needs to be part of the culture if you're owning your own business. And then lastly, YouTube, right? Google owns YouTube. Google spent billions of dollars to buy YouTube.
Right.
You can make a channel for your business. You can get videos and testimonials. Like that's the second source of revenue for Google is YouTube.
In fact, I hear that YouTube is the second largest search engine. So Google not only has Google,
the first,
but
has the second. Yeah.
Wow, wow. So you've got some success stories right here in South Florida. Yeah. Tell us about Air Boca.
Okay, so Air Boca is, they're just here right on 2nd Avenue. They're an air conditioning company. They've been in business since 1989. Same ownership, Sophia and Carlos Iglesias. They've owned the business very much family run. They're less than 10 employees. They're not massive. They have several trucks. And before us, they were doing things like yellow pages, maybe some flyers on doors, maybe some knocking, right? Just really kind of truly old school stuff. Like really old school, right? Gotcha. So we took over their account. We built them a brand new mobile friendly website that's responsive. You go to your phone, you can click on the phone number, it calls them right away. Like that was the first step, of course, kind of a rebranding. But now we've been posting for them, right? They're super active on Facebook, super active on Google+. And if you go to their Google Plus page today, you will see they have over 32,000 views.
Wow.
32,000 views in the last year.
It would have taken them forever. I used to do flyers. Okay, I used to throw parties. To put out 32,000 flyers on 32,000 dashboards. I mean, I've got this thing down to a science. I could do 300 flyers in an hour. So it would take me literally. Oh my goodness.
Hit up Costco parking lot.
How many literal days would it take me? It would take days. And they were able to get with you. And
in a year, 32,000 views on their Google Plus page.
Wow. Yeah. So awesome. I think that's a great success story.
Yeah.
Veronica Romney, I definitely appreciate your time. We've got Veronica Romney with LoSoMo Internet Marketing in the studio. She's been with us this morning. I almost am going to hate to say goodbye, but I definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate the time.
Tell listeners how they can get in contact with you.
Yeah, so a couple ways. Clearly, if you're socially active, you can just find us. Our Facebook page is just LoSoMo Inc, INC at the end. But if you're on your, smartphone or you're at your desk right now, you can just type in LoSoMo Inc, INC.com. That's our website, LoSoMoInc.com, or just do a search on Google. We're the first ones to pop up.
Awesome. Well, definitely, you guys check them out, LoSoMo Inc. Definitely check them out. And I've got to get started on this April 21. Veronica Romney, thank you so much for stopping by Radio for Small Business.
Thank you so much.
In just a minute, we're going to be back. We're going to talk about direct sales, why you should do it, even some tips that can get you started right here on Radio for Small Business. Plus, don't forget, join our text club. Text the word business to 77948. That's the word business to 77948. Literally, just pull out your smartphone, open the text message app. In the to field, type the number 77948, and in the message field, type the word business. Be back on Radio for Small Business.
Starting a business? Join the Homba Biz Small Business Network. You connect and get info on real deals. Deals and connections that can help you increase cash flow and acquire assets. Everything from private equity to direct sales. Joining is simple and free. Simply open your smartphone and text Biz Blast to 77948. Text BIZ Blast to 77948. Standard messaging charges may apply. Here's to getting to know you better. Homba Biz Small Business Network. Connect. Capitalize. Go.
Ladies, ever wondered if there's a true online community that'll give you premium skincare and cosmetics perks specifically for the mature woman who values prestige? Lol Beauty is the place. Our Facebook page is now the home of almost 400 like-minded women, and we'd love for you to join us. Like us on Facebook by searching for Lol Beauty. That's LULG Beauty. You'll get premium beauty news, celebrity skincare secrets, and be among the first to know the latest trends. Like us on Facebook by searching for LOL Beauty. That's LULG Beauty. Check us out. Discover the season's top trends. Take advantage of opportunities to try great new products. Even explore new ways to bring out a more radiant you. Joining is simple and free. Simply like us on Facebook by searching for LOL Beauty. That's LULG Beauty. LOL Beauty. Premium skincare and cosmetics perks for the mature woman who values prestige and true beauty.
When it comes to eating the right things, it seems like everyone has great advice. But do they ever stick around to help with the hard choices? RightIntake.com is a new online community that's focused on the education of our members to teach them the right way to go about nutrition. Every week, articles from leading nutritionists and trainers will break down the barriers of nutrition information in a way that's simple, practical, and informative. Topics will cover things that are actually important to you. Things like protein intake, B12 vitamins, prostate health, vitamins, supplements, and more. With RightIntake.com, you can stay on top of your nutritional goals quickly and easily. You can even sign up to get weekly notices of new articles right on your smartphone. Joining is absolutely free and easy. Visit RightIntake.com today, right away. Visit RightIntake.com. That's RightIntake.com. And discover more optimal living through better intake. RightIntake.com. Living life now.
Are you a local business owner who'd like to talk about your business on air? If so, meet the all-new Radio for Small Business show. At Radio for Small Business, we believe in building responsible and profitable business networks with the local community. Ideas, promotions, deals, and insights are what we value, so let us know what's on your mind. Text business to 77948. That's business to 77948, and we'll reach out to you personally. Plus, if we can get you onto the show, we will. We don't charge fees to be on Radio for Small Business. So send us a text. Text business to 77948. Text business to 77948. It's that simple. Standard messaging charges may apply. We look forward to servicing and partnering with you. Radio for Small Business, every Saturday at 10 a.m. Who knows, maybe you can join us next week. Text business to 77948. Text business to 77948. Radio for Small Business. Connect, capitalize, go.
Inside the mind of the owner. Radio for Small Business. Connect, capitalize, go.
Radio for Small Business, Saturday mornings on 740 AM WSBR Money Talk Radio. I'm your host, Eugene Rowe. Radio for Small Business is hosted by HomeBaBiz.com. HomeBaBiz, connect, capitalize, go. Everyone asks me, how do you spell HomeBaBiz? That's HomeBaBiz. It's really kind of an acronym for home-based business. There are some great sponsors. They really focus on home-based business owners and small business owners. And, of course, here at Radio for Small Business, we like to focus on the small business owner, too. Earlier in the show, just in case you're just tuning in, we had a wonderful interview with Wally King. He's the VP of Sales and Marketing with Ascenergy. Great success story. $2.7 million raised in crowdfunding since inception. Well, since their campaign began about a year ago. $2.7 million. Here's the great part. 0.7 of it came from friends and family. Awesome. That's what Radio for Small Business is all about. And then we had Veronica Romney with LoSoMo Internet Marketing. We're going to get that young lady back. She gave some great tips on internet marketing, search engine optimization, otherwise known as SEO. And I think we're going to have to get her back to do an internet marketing segment. So thank you, Veronica. I know she and her husband are probably on the way to the beach right now. We're still in the studio, still with you, Radio for Small Business. Let me give you this number. Take out a pen and paper, write down 561-408-1718. 561-408-1718. That's the number to the Radio for Small Business show office. Why am I giving you that? Because I want you to be able to get a free advance copy of the new book that we've got coming out to help people in direct sales get started in business. Direct sales is a great thing, especially when you talk about getting started in business for low upfront fees and low upfront costs. I like it. I've lived by it. I've lived it, still live it to this day. So many people know direct sales in the old school as either network marketing or multi-level marketing. That industry as a whole has just ridiculously blown up. The top two players in the industry do $25 billion. $25 billion a year in revenues. Okay, that's the top two. Not talking about the entire industry. Some examples of direct sales, obviously, you've got anything from car dealerships to, like I said, multi-level marketing companies. But we want you to have a chance to pre-order our new book that's coming out specifically on direct sales. So you can give us a call and just leave your name and your number, at 561-408-1718, 561-408-1718. And one of the actual questions that we normally get when it comes to starting a business, especially a direct sales business, is, how do I get started in business? I don't have the money. That's always a big deal. I don't have the money. Where do I get it from? Well, there's a great post on our sponsor's website called Funding a Business, 3 Steps to Better Saving. It's right on homebabiz.com. You visit the site. It's right there on the first page. You can click on it. They've got some great tips. I actually lived by this post. They've got a great tip in here called eliminating waste. And, if you're like me, you're like every other person on the planet. You've got expenses in your budget that don't serve a purpose other than sending you directly to the bathroom. And that was me. I used to drink, oh my goodness, probably a gallon of soda a day, like a literal gallon. The problem was I was paying, $2 a bottle for that gallon of soda. So you add up a 20 ounce bottle of soda, drink a gallon over the course of a year. You know how much you start to get. Just think about it, right? I mean, it's not going to make you rich to cut out a soda. Don't get me wrong, okay? I'm not one of those guys who's going to say, cut out a latte. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you have a dream to do something that's bigger than where you are right now, you may want to consider eliminating some of the waste in your budget so that you can fund that business. They've got number 2, pimp your expenses. This is a great one. I actually think it's pretty cool. How do you pimp the expenses? There are things in your budget that you can use to actually get cash back on. Think about this, right? If you're already spending $50,000 a year in expenses, why not have a rewards credit card? I know there's some gurus out there that'll tell you, get rid of the credit cards, cut them up. You know what? My thing is, if you learn how to use them only for expenses and pay them off every month, literally every month, you've got something where you can at least get some cash back. Why not, right? Obviously you can eliminate the expense or reduce the expense. That would always help. But those are just a couple tips you can use to get started in business. Listen, for more, give us a call and pre-order our free book that's coming out. It's 561-408-1718. And when I say pre-order, I mean literally just give us your name and number, because we're going to call and get your information. The book is free. Okay? The book's got to be free. It's not like you have to pay $25 for some guru to tell you some things that you already know. We just want to give you some information. We want to provide value to the local community right here with Radio for Small Business, hosted by HomeBaBiz. You can always join our text message list. And this is big. If you own a business or you're thinking about starting a business and you want to talk about your show on air, talk about your show like Veronica Romney, who was just in the studio, talk about your show like Wally King with Ascenergy, who was just on the phone with us, text us the word business to 77948. Seriously. Text the word business to 77948. What do we charge? We don't charge anything. As long as you're a dynamic person, as long as you got a great personality, great business, and you're serious about business, we'd love to talk to you and maybe get you into the studio to talk about your business and your success and your background and your story on air live with Radio for Small Business. So go ahead and text us now. Text business to 77948. It's not a full number. It's one of those auto responder things, okay? But it at least logs your entry into our system so that we can reach out to you. I actually call some of those numbers back myself, okay? So if you're a local business owner, you're thinking about starting in business, you just want some more tips, text the word business to 77948. Just pull out your smartphone. It has to be a smartphone, okay? You have to at least have the capability to text, okay? What's text messaging? That's sending messages via text from your phone. That's the best definition I can give to it. But pull out your smartphone. In the to field, type the numbers 77948. That's 77948. And in the message field, type the word business. BUSINESS. That'll put you on our text list. We'll reach out to you. We'll chat. We'll find out if your business is a good fit to get onto Radio for Small Business. And if it is, we'll get you into the studio live, just like we had Veronica Romney. I'm calling that young lady with LoSoMo Inc. She's got some great tips with internet marketing. I'd like for you to be with us, too. We want to provide a great value to the local community with Radio for Small Business. So that's definitely something that we want to partner on. That's why the slogan for the show is Connect, Capitalize, Go. Next week, we've got an awesome interview with Frill Clothing, Sharon Bowie, co-founder of Frill Clothing. You may have seen her on ABC's Shark Tank, where she went in and captured a deal that valued her business at $300,000. Sharon Bowie is on the show next week. Plus, well, I'm going to check the text line at 77948 and see if you've texted business. And maybe we can get you onto the show. Radio for Small Business every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Hosted by Eugene Rowe, sponsored by HomeBaBiz.com.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsor.